Great. A warm good evening, fellow Toastmasters of District 120. It's yet another wonderful session to connect you all on a Sunday evening for a preparation and also to get the experiences from our own uh, district champions for preparing for the table topic contest. Today, the core agenda for today's meeting is first we'll be having the address from our district trio, followed by the moderator who will be conducting the panel discussion. So, and also I'm very happy to announce that we are in the 52nd TLA event for this particular Toastmasters here. Thank you for all your support. And also, I'd like to extend my gratitude to the district and also the trio for supporting me in all the sessions. First, I'd like to invite our district director, Distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri. To introduce her, she is a technical project manager by profession and a public speaker by passion. She loves technology and holds a post graduation degree on artificial intelligence and machine learning. For the past 10 years, she has been associated with Toastmasters and has served various positions at the club level as area director, division director, District 120 logistics manager, District 120 Club Pro Director, District 120 Program Quality Director. She is innovative and brings in creative ideas to achieve goals. The successful initiatives that she had brought in are Buddy Club Program, Outstanding BPE, and Rockstar recognitions to District 120. She has been instrumental in chartering and supporting many clubs. She has served as club sponsor for 8 clubs and club mentor for 3 clubs. She was awarded the President's Distinguished Area Director, President Distinguished Division Director for her leadership achievements, and she is also a podium finisher in division level table topics and ISC contests. Let's welcome our District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri. Over to you.
Good evening, District 120 and the eager participants and winners of table topic contest. They say that if you give 2 days, you could give the best unprepared speech for 2 minutes. And I believe that even 2 days is not enough to give the best unprepared speech because it takes ages and ages and we may still mess up in one of the unprepared situations. In fact, when we pitch Toastmasters Club to non-Toastmasters, it's not just about the prepared speech. In fact, it is the unprepared occasions that actually impress them. When we ask them, if you meet your CEO in the elevator, do you know what you will tell them? And most of them don't even imagine such a situation in their life. And then we tell them that, do you know that what you do in those 2 minutes will actually decide whether you will stay the same or you will move forward, or probably if you ask one wrong question, the CEO may ask, who is this person that should not be in our organization still being employed? And often the unprepared situations are not in our hands, and preparing for table topic contest is the best way to ensure that we are unprepared. I mean, we are prepared for all those unprepared occasions. Personally, for me, table topic has been the contest that I have always enjoyed because it doesn't require a lot of preparation on the previous night. It is a test of all the preparations that you've done all through in your life. And only when you go to the table topic stage and then the TT master gives you a topic, you will probably blurt out all those things that you never wanted to say on the stage. Especially it happens in the contest, because even in a club, the nervousness is very less. But in a contest, we are very likely to say exactly what we were not supposed to say. And then we realize that only after we come back to the chair. But I've seen that table topic contestants have had their own strategies. And the beauty here is everybody has their own unique strategy. My word of caution is they all are pioneers in their strategy. Get inspired, but don't copy. You will definitely not be able to paste it right. Whatever is their strategy, it works best only for them. But I think by hearing their strategies, all of us will be able to come up with our own strategy, which will ensure that we probably clear at least a couple of levels in winning the table topic contest. But more importantly, we'll become those speakers who are the best when it comes to unprepared occasions. So I'm also looking forward to listening from the champions and learning from each other. I'm so happy to see so many of us joining on a Sunday evening to learn from our contestants. So back to you, Abdul, to take this forward.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Gayatri, for your address. And now let's hear from our program quality director. To introduce him, distinguished Toastmaster Mohanakrishnan is an engineering graduate having 15 years of experience in software industry, currently working as principal product manager in Gen Digital Inc. A passionate public speaker and avid traveler, have traveled to 20 plus countries. The first member to achieve Pathways Distinguished Toastmasters in District 120, created the first of its kind membership dues calculator for clubs and members, served as a conference chair for the annual conference of Division I Illuminate 2018. He has served as the Assistant Division Director Program Quality, served as the area director, served as the division director of Division A, served as the club growth director of District 120, currently serving as the program quality director of District 120. Let's welcome our program quality director, distinguished Toastmaster Mohan Krishnan. Over to you, Mohan.
Thank you, TLA Chair Abdul, and good evening to all of you who have joined to learn something today about table topics. Table topics has always been something that not just fun, but a lot of learning, right? I've been a table topic contestant probably until area contest, not more than that, and I've really not gotten a chance to do contesting because of getting into leadership. One thing that I think I did mention about that last week as well during our ISE Speak Like a Champion session. Sometimes we feel like we can do MC. We have done that MC before, 1,000 people, 2,000 people, but standing in front of 200 people in a contest is a different feel. And I have felt that. And special, attention for table topics where, you are put into a room and all those is something that, of course, all of us know. But it gives a skill. One thing that I want to remind you, for especially for the people that are pretty new here and want to contest and want to see what to take out from here is, especially table topics, because we are doing it today. We always say, in the club level, table topic master gets the skill of active listening. But even for the people who are contesting or do table topics regularly, I always equate this to this thing called the elevator pitch. I'm sure quite a few of us who have experienced in corporates, who have to do some, impromptu speaking with the management, have seen success only because of table topics that we tried in our contest. So that's how much I have had my own success stories of elevator pitch, and then it's only because of Toastmasters and table topics. So that's something that I always remember and acknowledge every place that we have a discussion about table topics and how important it is. So one thing that not just contests right from club level, but even regular table topic contests is something that's very important. I request all of you to take that habit of how table topics works, impromptu speaking, to your workplace, or if you're a student in your college, but try to implement that impromptu speaking wherever possible, and that's going to help us in a big way. End of the day, anything that we do in Toastmasters should be a transferable skill that's helping us in a professional career. With that, I would like to thank all the panelists today that have said this and want to share their knowledge, expertise with all our district members, and a special thanks to our moderator DTM Sundar for running this today, and of course Toastmaster Abdul, for running all these TLA sessions. Number 52 is definitely an amazing number. Looking forward for more such TLA events, which means there are more sharings that we want to, more knowledge sharing that we want to do for our district. All the best for the contest season. Do well, learn a lot of things. Most importantly, share that with more members, and that's exactly what will help us grow as an individual, as a club, or as a district. So with that, thank you so much. Let's do what we love and do a lot of it for District 120. Over to you, Toastmaster Abdul.
Thank you. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Mohan Krishnan, for your address. Now, without any further ado, let me introduce the moderator for today's panel discussion. We have a very experienced and also a very knowledgeable moderator for today's panel discussion. Let me introduce him, distinguished Toastmaster Sundar Raman Chintamani. He is a passionate Toastmaster for the past 15 years. He is a member of Medley Toastmasters Club and Meraki Toastmasters Club. He has held the position of president of Medley Toastmasters Club twice. He has achieved a distinguished Toastmaster title twice, one for the traditional program and another through the Pathways program. After 40 years of stint in corporate life, he is now on his own, offering training and consulting services. A business storyteller, design thinking evangelist, mind map practitioner, public speaking coach, presentation skills guru, Carnatic music connoisseur, if I'm right, and author of Business Storytelling for Leaders. He is also an avid quizzer and quiz master, currently serving as the District 120's official quiz master. Let's put our hands to welcome our moderator for today's session, distinguished Toastmaster Sundar Raman Chintamani. Over to you, sir, to take the session.
Thank you so much, TLI Chair Abdul. First of all, let me congratulate District 120 for successfully conducting more than 50 programs for the benefit of our own members, and specific thanks to our TLI Chair Abdul. And today I am proud and privileged to moderate this session, specifically during the outset of our contest season. And in front of us, we have a wonderful panelists here. I have great pleasure in introducing them. So to start with, we have our district champion, so table topics champion, Toastmaster Evangeline. So Toastmaster Evangeline is basically a HR by profession, and I have around 2 years of experience in Toastmasters. And she loves fine arts and music. Basically, she is a learning and development professional and a postgraduate from human resource management. And she'll be our first panelist. Then our next panelist would be Toastmaster Karipel Raja. Karipel Raja is doing a human service outside Chennai, so basically in Virudhunagar. So Virudhunagar seems to be very, very vibe city with respect to Toastmaster activities, and he is playing a crucial role there. So basically, he is a communication skill trainer by profession, and he has a master's in English and philosophy, and currently he heads the Department of Language Development Center in Behave Communication Club. As a Toastmaster, Karipel has served different ExCom roles in Virudhunagar Toastmaster Club, and he is the winner of District 120's table topic contest in 2022, humorous speech contest and evaluation contest in 2023, and currently is the president of Virudhunagar Toastmaster Club. Then our third panelist will be distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Manikandan Balasubramaniam. He comes with 20 years of experience in the IT industry and Six Sigma, Master Black Belt, Enterprise Agile, Ninja Coach. So all these are his forte. And he has played several leadership roles in Toastmaster as a division director, area director, club director, VP. And he has also hosted several conferences by being the conference chair, conference co-chair, and won multiple awards. He has been a podium finisher in many district events, district first runner-up and evaluation speech contest in 22-23, district first runner-up in table topics contest in 21-22, district second runner-up in humorous speech contest 2021. And he is a familiar face of the district podium. So again, the fourth panelist will be distinguished Toastmaster Patabi Raman, so also known as Pat. So Pat comes with around 18 years of Toastmaster experience, and he started his Toastmaster journey with the Chennai Toastmaster Club. And he has been a president, club coach, club mentor, club sponsor. And his experience comes from pharma industry by selling products of Vocard and Cadila. And in his second innings, he has been a life skill trainer, and he is a runner-up in district table topic contest 2023, and champion at the division level on various contests. And he is so fond of colors. In fact, many times whenever he takes notes, his note will be full of colors, and he used multiple such techniques to excel in whatever he is doing. And as on date, he has attended more than 1,000 meetings, executed 500 projects, and mentored more than 50 members, individual members. With such a wonderful panelist, I am glad to be here. And on behalf of the participants, I'll be moderating this session. To start with, I think table topic itself is a trademark product from Toastmaster International. So as it is, except Toastmasters, no one else can use it. And at the moment we hear the term table topic, immediate the synonym what we think of is impromptu speaking. My first question would be, so though it is impromptu speaking, does it mean that it does not require any preparation? If it is otherwise, if it requires kind of preparation, what kind of preparation would be needed? So let me start with Toastmaster Evangeline, your thoughts about the preparation for table topic.
Thank you, Sundar Raman sir. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for this wonderful opportunity. So early I've been called to be one of the panel member amongst all the people who have achieved so much in Toastmasters. It's just been 2 years for me in Toastmasters, and thank you so much once again. And to answer your question, it's definitely, yes, sir, we do need preparation. We have to prepare. I mean, it's just a simple example. Imagine we want to go for an interview, and any interview would call for a group discussion, right? So what would we do? We just don't go there and talk whatever we think. We do some preparation to clear the rounds, to clear and go to the next level of interview. The same will apply to Toastmasters as well, be it evaluation or international speech contest, and definitely for table topics. But it does tell that it's an impromptu speech. Impromptu speech doesn't always need to be like something that we have to think on spontaneously. According to me, I have done a lot of preparation before coming onto the stage. Preparation really helped me a lot, and yes, we do need a lot of preparation, sir. I mean, I do have a lot of, yes.
What kind of preparation? Do you read a lot, or mock? You take up some mock topic and then prepare yourself? What kind of?
So no, it is not like taking a mock topic and do, but I have followed a lot of methods, and I came up with one method which I thought would really help me to back the title, which did at the end. So what I did was in fact, the first thing for any speech delivery, we should have a content with us. That is very basic. But to have that impact on the audience, that content definitely needs to be a story. So any content that I have in mind or that I develop, it will be like a story of my life, happenings, all the inferences and references that I have seen in my life, that has happened in my life, or that has happened in my, friend's life, anybody for that matter. So I take life examples of that sort and I put them into a story. Just not one story, multiples of stories, randomly, like while I travel, while I sit, while I watch TV, any story that comes into my mind, which I will be able to connect with me, is something that I prepared first. That is content for me. So the first thing that I would do is, that I did, in fact, was build a story repository, a short story repository. So I had close to 20 to 30 stories in line with me, which I prepared for the last 2 years while I was in Toastmasters. I'm just not a pro in table topics the day one I joined Toastmasters, but after learning few tricks and few tips and tricks, I in fact came to know that okay, story repository is something that I have to have with me, because yes, being spontaneous is definitely needed, but to have that content in mind, to have some matter in mind, is always needed. Rather than going there and talking whatever we think in mind, to pick up the line and to pick up that spontaneity, we should have some backup. A story or memory backup should always be there. That is the only thing which helped me to travel all the levels and to finally end up in the district championship title. So story repository is one that I always had in mind. So that's how I start preparing myself.
Super. So I think the story repository or a journal, So preferably you also tag certain attributes. For example, many a times the topic will revolve around life skills, love, affection, honesty, etc. So for each category, you can have a story. Fantastic. I'll take the same question with a little bit of twist to Karkwel Raja. So when you mean preparation, so I guess you have a lot of champions university, right? So starting with Sham and others. So do you have a short, small mastermind group, and do you take up a mock topic and then rehearse? So what kind of preparation you do, Mark Karpel? Your thoughts?
Uh, Thank you, sir, for that lovely question. Of course, table topics is highly preparatory, and my preparation is mostly on the mental side of things. Because table topics to me is a very challenging contest because you have to speak as soon as the topic is given. So first we have to be mentally prepared to face any kind of topic on the given day. So I would say my preparation would start with challenging myself with the most peculiar topics. Now, you talked about a group or a space where I practice. So, yes, my mentors used to give me very peculiar topics which are hard to understand. And I try to speak for the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. Whatever comes to my mind, I try speaking it for 1 to 2 minutes. Now, keeping this practice up regularly puts me up the day. So when I go to the stage and receive a topic which goes this way, the topic that I received in the division contest was patience is a bitter plant, but its fruit is sweet. Now, when I heard this topic, I felt very happy because I felt that this topic was so easy because of all the weird topics I have practiced with. Topics such as you are who you are, you have come this far, not to come only this far. Such weird topics which need a lot of understanding to reflect. So creating that mental mind space is much more important. Also, like Evangeline said, repository of self-experience. I usually go with the short incidences that I would share in my prepared speeches. Many of my table topic contest speeches were a summary or were taken from my international speech contest or my regular pathways presentations. So keeping those stories alive and keeping them running in the mind is also a preparation that I do, sir. It is about organizing myself to face any kind of topic, creating that mental space by challenging our.
Your voice is a little breaking. Okay, thank you. Anyhow, I think you have given valuable input. So one is try to leverage your prepared speeches. So in every prepared speech, definitely you would have shared 2 or 3 stories. And if you are able to recollect that on the spot, that will come handy. So that was a fantastic input for all the participants. So Manikanda, this right now, my question again on preparation or approaching the table topic. So the table topics at a contest is generally different than the club level table topic session. Generally, club level, you have who is your favorite actor, who is your favorite, what is your favorite book. So that will be a simple kind of topic, but invariably in a contest, it will be almost like a 2 sentence or 3 sentences, and it is very difficult to comprehend immediately. So what is the technique you use to understand the topic and then approach it on the spot?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sundararaman sir, and thanks for this opportunity. As my fellow panelists said, I definitely agree. I always call you have to be prepared to be impromptu, and I also call it as prepared spontaneity. We need to be prepared to be spontaneous. For the table topics contest, the way I prepared, one, I looked at all the quotes. I randomly read as many quotes as possible. I randomly read as many idioms and phrases as possible, because my major challenge I felt was understanding the topic. If the phrase is given, if I know the topic, if I understand the meaning, I feel it is easy to talk. So the first preparation I did is reading as many quotes, as many idioms and phrases, and understanding what is the meaning. Second, if this quote comes to me, if this phrase is given to me, what will I talk about it? What is the kind of story I am going to share? Now, am I going to talk for this topic or against this topic? If for, then what will I say? If against, what will I say? Then I also agree with my fellow panelist Evangeline, the stories. I don't maintain a story book per se, but then somewhere it comes here with the experience of my life experiences. Suddenly something will trigger. Every topic I hear, some lifetime story will get triggered. I used to connect that story. So these are the three things I consistently did. And compared to club level table topics, that also, if I reflect back, as our district director, DTM Gayatri said, it's not the overnight preparation, it's the preparation of all these years. Whenever I was in club, I used to think of the theme which is taken for the club, and I used to prepare in those themes. If the theme is about leadership, I used to go and read what is leadership, who are all the topmost leaders. If suppose they ask me who is my favorite leader, what will I talk? I used to read and prepare. So all these years, probably if I would have attended some 200 meetings and prepared around 50 to 70 meetings, table topics, over a period of time, I had around 70 such themes for which I can talk comfortably. That was the other practice which I did throughout in my journey, not only for the contest.
Yes, thank you so much, Manikandan. I think one key element of what you have shared is the habit of reading, being a voracious reader. So today people are being today, we keep complaining that the reading habit has come down. So probably people may not read books, but definitely we have different other sources like blogs and then online forums, etc. And probably I think conscious reading will also be helpful. So conscious reading. So keep that the message in your mind. Even if you don't put it on your diary or a desktop, you can keep it here, and then at any point of time it will come handy. Thank you so much. So, DTM Pat, the question for you would be, for example, for many times, for ISC speeches, we keep saying that you need to have proper structure. So at least the basic elements like beginning, body, conclusion. So have you felt that table topic also need to be addressed? For example, instead of immediately agreeing with the topic master, what he says, start with an attention grabbing opening, so either with a quote or a humor, and then get into the topic, and then finally finish with the quote. I have seen you many a times on stage and trying to approach this, but I would like to hear from you for the benefit of the audience. How do you approach this? You are not audible. I think you are muted, Pat.
All right.
Right.
So here I am. Table topics are unprepared, obviously, but it is a contracted unprepared. In prepared speech, you have the luxury of harnessing your thought, talent, time, along with your temperance. So is the case with table topics on the stage, where you have to harness that thought, talent, time with temperance. Definitely, there is no substitute for preparation. If one side of the coin is preparation, the other side of the coin is preparedness. So the combination of preparation and preparedness has to get the rewards and awards. Maybe as a member, a buddy member I join, then I get exposed. There are three things in life: past, present, and future. Present I know, the future I do not know, but past I know what happened. So based on the past incidences, working on the present moment, I am able to encounter a future which is unknown, unseen, unforeseen, and unpredictable. So the preparation which you make in the presence based on the past experience, you are able to face it successfully. In fact, over a period of time, as we participate in more number of table topics opportunities at club level, you are able to manage, you are able to maneuver, and a point reaches where you are able to mastermind the audiences. The preparation comes from your normal reading, whatever reading you make, whether a newspaper or magazine or blogs or articles. As a Toastmaster, what I did, in fact, I got it from DTM Nina John when she was the president CTM. She used to take note down all the topics given. Then I began to do it 18 years ago from CTM onwards. Probably I can proudly say that I have around 1,500 topics. Anyway. Then fortunately, I am associated with another intellectual body called MILT, McGraw Institute of Leadership Training, which is nothing but a capsular program of Dale Carnegie School of Employment. There we call it impromptu. Toastmasters is merciful, but MILT is merciless. They will give you one-word topic, fear, courage, same timing. And timing is merciless. You have to clock plus or minus 2 seconds. There is 118, 119, 120, 121, 122. Then you get the time score for 10. I remember in Calcutta, a guy was given condom. The topic is condom and is magnificently spoken on. So it's all about preparation, no doubt about it. And like a prepared speech or like an evaluation, we have that structured component called opening body conclusion. Yes, that we do adopt it. Only thing in probably table topics, what I adopt is the abrupt beginning. I've been given, but still I want to remain predictable to the judges and the audiences by starting abruptly. But the preparation which I have made in the past always helps me. Suppose if I'm totally clueless about the past, they say it's better to link or associate with the past incident. So when it's associated, in your invisible screen, you have the ideas and the words running through. Then if you can suitably connect with maybe the phrases or the idioms or some sort of wordplay, which here and there I do that, then probably that helps you to be different or outstanding from other participants. And there is no substitute for regular homework.
Pat, you mentioned you use the technique of abrupt beginning, right? Abrupt beginning. I understand that you do not want to endorse what the topic master said in the first 15 seconds. Even you don't want to reproduce whatever he has said. So you want to start the tangential manner. What are the advantages of having this kind of approach?
Number one,
is it just for attention grabbing or anything else?
Now come again.
Is it for attention grabbing?
The last 3 words. What did you say?
Attention grabbing.
Obviously. Yeah. The abruptness is to remain unpredictable. Point number one. Point number two, to hook the audience's attention, undivided audience attention. Probably that normally do in my training. So in Toastmasters, it comes to me in my good state. Then after that, I jump into the topic with a kind of opening and the body part and through the details. Then I conclude. If there's a requirement of call for action, so that also adds. So it's opening, body, conclusion with call for or some incentive, some message to the audience through the topic what one want to give. And no doubt about this preparation.
So when you meant call for action, many times I have seen that you conclude your call for action with some kind of rhetoric devices, preferably alliterations, metaphors, similes, etc. So how do you leverage them? In fact, the very first response to my question, you used a couple of alliterations and the devices. So how do you consciously use them?
Probably the one noteworthy conclusion of mine is alliteration with the triad: proceed with progress, exceed with effectiveness, and succeed with the sizzling speeches or sizzling tasks. Then amplify your efficiency, nullify your deficiency, signify your sufficiency, and magnify your proficiency. That more relevant and suitable to the evaluations which I make. But when it comes to table topics, depending on the topic and the context, I am able to. But for which, as many said that they have a repository, or a bank of topics and based on the incidents, I have such deposit with.
Fantastic. So apart from the story file, people also can have a repository of all these kind of rhetoric devices. Fantastic, fantastic. So Manikantan, the next question will be, even for a seasoned Toastmaster, one topic is given, sometimes the complex topic is given. Complex topic is given. So, and for a moment, you will be clueless. And how do you approach such kind of situation? So I think that will be a helpful tip for the entire audience, because a lot of newcomers are there, and the contest time, people may go blank. So the moment they hear the topic, how do you approach?
Actually, it personally happened in one of these contest season,
Okay.
and that's the year I moved all the way up to district and got second place. It happened in my club contest. I couldn't hear the topic except one word. The table topic master said, Toastmaster Manikandan Balasubramanian, oh, human. Oh, human Toastmaster Manikandan Balasubramanian. That's all I could hear. Now I wanted to say, could you please tell it properly? But then being a senior Toastmaster and being in contest, now I can't do this. The contest has to rerun. All I did is I just went ahead with the word human. I started talking about humanity and my story. Then I went with a conclusion and I got the first place in that contest. Now people and my mentors who listened to the speech, they came back and said, Mani, everything was superb. Just that if you could have connected that story with the title, it would have been the fantastic one. But you know what? Unfortunately, nobody did it and you were better off. That's when I told them, boss, I don't even recall the title or I don't know the title. My realization in this journey is if I am unable to understand the topic, probably is the case with everyone. Even if people understand the topic, not necessary that they may be able to talk. The first is the confidence with which you go is something I learned in that contest, where I was confidently, without any fraction of second, I started the topic. That is one thing I always try to do. The moment I hear the topic, whether I remember, I get to know what is the meaning or not, I just pick one word, then I just go with it. Then the second thing is, as I start speaking about that word, as I start speaking, thought flows in my mind, the stories come. The stories will flow into your brain and it comes to your mouth and then the story flows. That's my second thing where I keep thinking. Finally, if I am able to recall the title, I will connect back to the title, calling out the title explicitly. There are times I may not be able to recall the title fully. The title could be 6, 7, 8 words, riddles. Then I don't attempt to recall and show that I forgot. Instead, I would pick up some of the words or the meaning of the title or interpretation of my title and conclude. So this is something I always tried and did whenever I get something which I don't know. And also I try to make myself as a self-deprecation humor. But then the thing is, this is a tricky part. I cannot tell the judges and audience, I don't understand the topic, especially in a contest. Then I'm giving my open statement, okay, I'm not eligible to be a competitor. I can't do that. At the same time, I have to pick up the time. Then sometimes humor helps. Simply, for example, the title comes, I look at the contest master, look at the audience with some expression, look at the contest master and the audience. People will start thinking, wow, super, super. They think I'm making some fun or humor, but then I only know I'm getting the time. Also, I'm adjusting with some of the relevant things. So this is another thing I tried in one of the contests which worked. So there are multiple such things happens, Sundararaman sir.
Sure, sure. So I think you try to leverage the body language, even table topic, facial expression. So I think one key takeaway from what you have said is that listen to the vital words, right? So because even in a lengthy sentence, there will be some few words which are very vital. At least if you are able to grasp it, then you can hang on and then you can continue your story. So I think that is fantastic. Okay, now I'll move on to Toastmaster Evangeline. Many times the topics will be metaphorical in nature, so the hidden meaning will be different. And on the spot, within 10 seconds, you need to understand the hidden meaning. For example, one of my favorite quote is, knowing tomato is a fruit is knowledge, but not to put it in fruit salad is wisdom. Knowing tomato is a fruit is knowledge, not to put it in fruit salad is wisdom. Such kind of metaphorical topics, how do you quickly understand the inner meaning and then approach? Or will you start literal meaning and then within 1 minute you will be able to get the inner meaning? So how do you approach it?
So to be very honest, compared to all the other panel members, I think I am the only person who have the less stage, time, in table topics. But I would like to, connect with what Manikandan sir had told. Seriously, if there is a topic and if whether it's a metaphor or whatever it is, and if I'm not able to comprehend it, definitely I will go pick up few words from the topic, like wisdom. So in the one which you told now, I mean, I was able to pick up the words like knowledge and wisdom. There I go. I just randomly, check out for my story backup. What do I have in knowledge and wisdom? That's how I'll be able to connect it. Now, if you ask me if I'll be able to, do justice in syncing up the underlying concept with my speech, and I wouldn't be able to do that. So what I'm trying to say is, see, when the table topics master throws a metaphorical statement, or if there is a proverb for that matter, if I'm not able to understand, the first thing that I would do is get the crux of the statement, or at least get few words from the statement which will make me comfortable. Rather than spending time in thinking what it is all about, I just go ahead and pick few words and then start talking. And when I see at this time is when I will make use of some humor in my speech, because I know that the speech is not going to sync up with the topic, and I've picked up few words like knowledge and wisdom. So what I have to do is I have to ensure that the audience is connected with me. That's when humor will work out, right? So here and then humor and spontaneity, like connecting someone who's already there in the audience. For instance, if there is a chief judge, pointing out to the chief judge and talking to her or him, or maybe the keynote speaker for that matter, that spontaneity will make people to actually listen to what we are saying, irrespective of whether we are connecting with the story or not. Our delivery will be on the point. The way with which we are articulating what the message that I want to tell will be to the point. So this is how I will be handling a situation, if it arises, like you told, sir.
Thank you so much. So I think again, picking the vital words, again, we need to have a little bit of clarity. For example, in this case, tomato and fruit salad, they are not the vital words. The vital words will be knowledge and wisdom. So I think we are able to differentiate that, then that will be great. So again, I'll come back to Karkwel Raj with the same question. So again, how do you handle metaphorical titles? Probably you can quote one title which you have already faced, and then you can explain how you have handled it. Get recurrence. Mike, you are muted, Karkwel.
Yeah. I think I have to agree with what my fellow panelists said for this particular question. Finding keywords and taking them, addressing them way out to come out of this situation. When the topic is too metaphoric, very hard to understand, going with keywords is one easy way to meet the objective and also to present an effective speech for 1 to 2 minutes. The second backup plan that I would have is, if I'm not able to find the keywords, I try to connect with, I try to connect with the meaning that the topic is trying to give. Say, I was able to understand the topic that you gave, Sundaram sir. So I would not have any problem if I know it is talking about the application of knowledge. So that's the crux I take out of it. Even if I'm not able to pinpoint the meaning exactly, I would try to align in a wider area, maybe get into a space where the topic would be somewhat meaningful, somewhat relatable. Because at the end of the day, nobody is going to say whether you have, agreed to the topic or disagreed to the topic or made changes in the topic or given your stance differently. At the end of the day, what the judges and the audience would be looking for is how convincing your 1 to 2 minutes is. That's how I see. Because when you say tomato, whatever the topic you said, application of knowledge is more important. I can simply say knowledge is also crucial and wisdom is also crucial. Now, knowing when to apply knowledge is wisdom. So both plays an important role, and I can still play a neutral stance and make it effective. So even if I am not able to understand the complete meaning of the topic, I try to, take a meaning which is somewhere related to the meaning of the topic, sir. And I try to convince the audience in that 1 to 2 minutes time that is given to me. In my case, patience is a bitter plant, but its fruit is sweet. I started my speech saying, my dear contest master, I think I'm not able to hear you clearly. Could you repeat the topic, please? And then I had 2 seconds pause, and once again I bounced back saying, my dear contest master and audience, did you think I actually didn't hear you? Patient, my dear audience, because patient is a valuable lesson we have to learn. And I connected it to the topic. So you don't have to directly take the meaning. If you take some stance, which is somewhere relatable to the meaning, I would say that is fine, unless and until we can convince the audience with our arguments.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much, Kirpal. Okay, now this we have every year now we have 4 contests: ISC, table topic, evaluation, and humorous. The humorous and ISC, they are different genre, right? So each speaker will be speaking on different topic, different format. Whereas evaluation, all of us will be evaluating the same speech, same manner. Table topic, all of us will be responding to the same topic. So now, so even if you understand the meaning quickly, and if you want to give your response, it is a contest. We have to get the brownie point so that you are on the top 3. So if not even a winner, at least you should be in top 3. So how do you differentiate yourself? So you have to at least the freshers may not know all that, but once you start getting into the different level of contest, the next mindset will be to differentiate yourself in responding to the table topic, and then try to come on the top 3. So we'll start with Pat. Pat, you know that all are going to respond to the same topic, and most of the responses will be similar. How will you differentiate yourself?
Come again. The topic is
So
same.
The topic is same, table topic,
Okay.
and 10 or 12 people are going to speak on the same topic. But this
Okay.
is a contest, right? So you have to win, and you have to come on the top 3. So what are the different differentiating techniques?
Yeah, obviously, if I happen to be the first competitor or contestant, I could hear the other 9 different speakers. But I go normally by the structured mechanism called openings, body, conclusion. If there is a possibility of call for action or incentive component, they add with that. If I can connect with a very powerful, strong incident, because in fact, I can borrow it or I can use my own incident. But in between the two, if you borrow or if you use your personal incident, the credibility and conviction components go higher. That personal illustration or anecdotes examples give you that edge over the other contestants. Then if it is possible to use some, maybe the slogans in between or some catchy phrases, which majority may not use. So that also another factor gives a value addition. Then I play on words. If there is a possibility of playing on words within that the story or incident which I narrate, maybe if there is a scope for an eloquent body language, maybe a falling tone, rising tone, fall or rise, which is called vocal variety. So that I would consciously apply to magnify and signify my message. So content, the gestural communication, and the vocal variety with call for action or incentive given. And in that way, I consciously attempt to be different from other contestants.
So I think so you try to leverage all your strengths. So you are conscious of what are your strengths and you try to leverage them consciously. Fantastic.
Obviously.
So Manikandan, the same question with a little bit of little different twist. So Pat also mentioned about mentioning about an incident, right? So especially if the incident has happened in the conference, morning, something has happened. We try to leverage that. So we normally call it as milking the cow moment, right? So even many bloggers, they try to take up a reel and then try to conclude with their own inferences kind of stuff. So already the reel would have become viral, but each one of them, they have their own signature theme and can try to apply it. So have you ever done that, the milking the cow moment?
Okay. I have always kept that as one of my strategies to leverage the moment any educational speaker coming on that day or any of our leaders' point. I always take notes. I keep it ready. However, when I get a slot other than one, anything between 2 to 10, I have not applied that strategy. The reason, probably this is a strategy everyone would also be applying, and I don't want to sound cliche that particular day leveraging it. I still remember Dhananjay Hitrachi's educational session where he said, ISC, how to attempt when you come in, give 4 seconds pause, look in the front, look sideways, look this side, and look again in the front. Later, that 1 year when I saw the contest, I could see this as a template which sounded very cliche. I try to avoid in such cases. However, if it is very unique, it helps. But in my case, at least TT table topics, I have not done it, sir. But it always been my strategy.
I think as you try to leverage the milk the moment, you should also be conscious that others may also do that. So you have to be mindful of it so that you never fall in the crowd. So you have to have some kind of outlier. Fantastic. Thank you. So your response, Kuel, on this question on milking the moment.
Yes. So could you explain that a little more? Because I was listening to
For
Manikandan.
example, you have a keynote speaker on the contest day, and the keynote speaker may come out with a key phrase, so which would have already made an impact in the audience. You try to borrow it and try to put it in your table topic, or something would happen. So probably I can share a funny incident happened. I think one of the district conference happened in the Green Park Hotel. So the squirrel was going behind the stage, and most of the audience, they were all their attention were there. I'm not sure whether anyone has leveraged that, but constantly people were chatting about it in WhatsApp groups. Any such kind of moment have you tried to leverage?
Okay, sir. To answer that question, sir, no, I completely stay out of it, sir. I completely stay out of it because we do not know whether the judges have definitely known about it. Point number 1. 2, everybody would have felt comfortable sharing that, as it would be on their mind afresh. So many people can try to use that strategy, like Manikandan sir said. So I do not intend on using anything that happened on that day. Even if it has a huge impact, I would stay away from it so that I can avoid being a repeater of the same incident or same fact which others have given. And to also address the previous question, if I may, that was posted to Pat sir, how do you sound different in a list of 10 speakers, 10 contestants? My advice would be on the 2 pointers. 1, try to challenge the topic by going against the topic, because many people would find it easy to support the topic because that is a proverb. Anyway, it is a saying which is agreed by the world, which has very strong foundation that people believe in. So when we speak against the topic, it creates an impact. And number 2 is that when we go on to speak, try to avoid stories, maybe anecdotes from others' life. I attended a contest recently. The topic was on appearance. Appearance is deceptive. And a person talked about a guy with dirty clothes going to a Mercedes showroom. The people in the showroom did not like him. They teased him. They trolled him. They said, you cannot buy this car. Now, this guy opened his suitcase and he had cash ready to buy the car. And 3 speakers in the contest used the same story. Now, that is why we have to avoid using anecdotes pertaining to such topics. Go with personal experience, that would work. And finally, one don't maybe we can avoid is that is the don't I wanted to share. Do not choose stories and anecdotes which are known to people. Go with personal experience. So to make yourself sound different, go speak against the topic, go with your personal experience and try to use the element which is there. With the element which is there, coming back to the point that you said, sir, milking the cow. Now, when I was given the topic related to patience, I said the contest chair. Check to the contestants. Are you audible? Are you visible? Time and time again, so that now we can enjoy this contest peacefully. Being patient at that time had given this success to us now. So make something relatable, which is happening at present, can have a good impression, sir.
Fantastic. So the key takeaway is when you share anecdotes, so ensure that it is unheard story. So because everyone receives WhatsApp, so by 6 a.m. So if not today, tomorrow you will receive the same story. So preferably try to figure out the story. Probably you can also try out with your close circle and then find out whether they have already had the story. Suppose if you feel it is very interesting. And one point I think I like the most from Kirkwell is to try to not to agree with the topic master. So that is a fantastic approach. But a question to Kirkwell again, suppose you want to, the topic master is given a topic and you plan to disagree with that. So will you reveal that in the first sentence or will you try to make a kind of argument and conclude it saying that you are not agreeing with the topic? How will you approach it?
Okay. In my view, sir, that depends on what kind of introduction I'm going to have for that particular topic. I remember Toastmaster Selvarajan's table topics contest with District 82. The topic given to him was opportunity knocks the door only once. And we know the procedure of contest master. They have to say that twice. Toastmaster Selvarajan, opportunity knocks the door only once. Opportunity knocks the door only once, Toastmaster Selvarajan. And Toastmaster Selvarajan's first line was, contest master, if opportunity knocks the door only once, then why did you reveal my topic twice? Now, the moment he says that, all the audience would be aware that he's going to speak against the topic. He's going to differ from the topic given to him. There is going to be a deviation. But this introduction will get the attention of all the audience, will get the attention of the people. So if I have a powerful opening for the topic, I will definitely reveal that upfront. If not, I would try to conceal my stance till my story part is over, at least for 1 minute, and then reveal it later. So that depends on the kind of introduction I'm able to come up with regards to the topics.
For example, so I understand that even if you want to refute, don't make it explicit. So try to put it in a different kind of language. Fantastic.
Yes. Yes.
So what will be your take to come back to the original question? How do you differentiate yourself amongst the other contestants? Because all are going to talk on the same topic. So the differentiating factor.
Yes. First of all, I would like to apologize, for not turning off my video because I think I'm having a bandwidth issue. I'm really sorry for that. But to answer your question, sir, see, how I will differentiate myself from from my fellow contestants is I would really love to be unconventional. When I say unconventional, have some element of surprise and not letting the audience know what are we going to talk about. Because if you had seen my speech on the district, definitely none of them would thought that I would end my speech that way. Because initially when I started the speech,
sorry,
I started with
Evangeline. Can you quickly explain what was the topic and how did you approach?
The topic that was given to me was it's hard but not impossible. Like it's always hard but not impossible. Okay, I quickly picked up a story that came to my mind, which I closely related to, a lot of adjectives like problem solving, determination or motivation or so. When this came to me, I thought, okay, let's go with this. Also, the story that I picked up was, I knew it would be different from others because it again was something on my max teacher. In all the levels of my table topics, I always come up with stories which happened in my school, in my life, which was true incidents, and definitely there would be a teacher. So those lines really helped me out. None of them thought that I would pick up a story to explain this proverb, that too with max teacher, with my friend who is helping to solve a problem on the board. And finally, connecting that with the proverb was another challenge. So what should I do now? So this is something which has to do with problems and solutions. How do I connect it with hard work and something with impossible? So that's when I thought, okay, let's twist it a bit at the end, and let's make the audience know that I mean, make the audience understand that, okay, she's going to say something different. So knowing the audience's pulse and having the twist at the end is very important. I could have easily, told, okay, this is what happened, and it's very important to know that everything is possible in life. No, it didn't happen that way. And I made a point to explain it to them that problems and solutions are very important, and that's how, life will throw a lot of instances to us. It's always possible. Nothing is impossible in life. In fact, you see, I had two.
We are not able to hear you, Evangeline. Okay, so we'll continue our conversation. So probably I'll take a pause here and take some questions from the audience. So audience, if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, please raise your hand. And I also have a list of questions while people have registered. So let me give first a preference for people who joined live. Okay, so I'll go back to the list of questions that I already received it. So actually, Toastmaster Priyanka Anand from Chennai Wordsmith has asked a question. What are the top 2 mistakes to be avoided? The TT mistakes to avoid to become top 2. So no for certain things. So I think some of you already covered, that is to avoid being cliche kind of stuff. So anything else, any new points on what to avoid? Go ahead, Manikandan.
Okay, so some of the things to avoid is, first, we should read the contest rule book to understand the contest and the judging criteria, judges' ballot. Most of the time I notice people don't read it. So people should read it to avoid mistakes. For example, table topics is also a speech like 5 to 7 minutes. With a difference, it is 1 to 2 minutes. Now, opening body conclusion is must. However, there is a key point of transition. In the judges' ballot, it talks about smoothness. The transition is something we normally miss out when a table topic comes, because it's a random thought happens, a random story comes in, we start with something, and then the transition from opening to body to conclusion, if it is not smooth, it's a problem. We should avoid that abrupt movement. Bring in smoothness is one, I would say. The second thing I would say, the physical is another criteria where your appearance, body language, how we are using the speaking area matters. Typically, I notice table topics, we tend to speak from the same space. Whether it is table topics or evaluation, we tend to speak from the same space. We should avoid doing it. When we are bringing in a story, then that story should have some characters, the characters moving on the stage. Also, there has to be some space in the story, home, hospital, school. Then those spaces should be constructed on stage. So that is another thing. We should avoid talking from one space. Then the voice. That is also another thing. I would say the flexibility or how we are talking, the voice variation and modulation We believe only for 5 to 7 minutes speech we can bring in. No, we can bring in 1 to 2 minutes and bring it. Do not miss it. These are the top 3 things I would say, Sundararaman sir, things to avoid.
So I think you address the very valid point of delivery. So more than content, delivery also plays an equal role in table topics. It is not only limited to ISE contest or humorous speech. The delivery also matters in Pat, so what kind of mistakes you would like to say no?
See, normally we connect with the past incidents and then get the capability to expand, build a story, and proceed further. Having chosen one incident, and let us stick to that. Let us not bring in one more incident. Sometimes people do it because not able to develop and proceed further on one incident, they mix up with the incidents, and that is to be avoided. And as Manish said, majority of times, many speakers remain monotonous, a flat tone of voice, because already the pressure is, which I call thought attack. So the thought attack pressure, to avoid that, bring in, for which you should have already practiced before, that rising, falling, or tonal variation, all those stuff. If it is possible to bring in a PAUSC, even in table topics, maybe a fraction of a second, come forward, look into the eyes of the audience and go back. I think that would cause great impact. So it is not to avoid, it is to consciously put into practice. And as he also said, very often we stick to one position. If I can use the space, then I exhibit my comfort zone on the topic which I am at.
So I'll go with a different question to Kirkwell and Evangeline. So this is regarding the conclusion, closing with the punch, right? So normally would you like to summarize or try to use some differentiator to make an impact on the audience and judges? So how do you conclude? So do you normally consciously do something?
Okay, so if you may, I will go first, Kirkwell, because I don't want to go against stagnant.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's a very interesting question, sir, because conclusion, definitely it's the most crucial of a table topic, right? Your speech would be so good, the audience might be, laughing, they might be rolling over the floor with your content and everything, but if you don't conclude your speech with the topic that is given, that's where, many of the table topic contestants lose their spot. Like in my case, when I delivered my speech, I told you earlier, right? My topic was, it is hard but not impossible. After completing my delivery of the speech, if only I had not connected this proverb at the end, definitely I would have lost the stage. Because I told you, right? I knew my content that I was delivering was more on problem solving and facing it and solving it. It was nowhere close to hard work or impossible kind of a scenario. But at the end, when I finished the topic with a proverb which is closely related to what the table topic master told, I at the end I finished it saying, face it and finish it. So it's always, it's never, it's all, it might be hard, but it's not impossible, right? So somehow I try to end my delivery with that topic along with what I delivered. So I had a different concept in mind, and finally somehow I tried to sync it up with the original topic, and I even told the topic at the end to register that I spoke on the topic. Many people miss it. They would have actually given a lot of content on the topic, but at the end, when they don't register that they've spoken for this topic, they lose that essence. So I think it's very important that at the end, the topic has to be, reiterated. But another mistake which many people do is they start with the topic. See, already the table topic master would have told the topic twice to us.
You're
Table
wasting
topic
precious time.
contestants, yeah, in the consciously start with the topic, the same topic again. I don't know why they do it, but if they could avoid it, it would actually give them a stage where people would be very cautious. I mean, they would be sitting at the edge of the seat. I mean, waiting to hear, okay, what is she going to talk about? Because initially, when they start with the topic, that's when the spark will go off. They will know what I'm going to deliver. So, giving that kind of a sense of curiosity and finally ending the speech with the topic that is given is the key to winning a table topic contest, according to me.
Thank you so much.
I intervened, Sundar.
Yeah,
She
go
said,
ahead.
nice. Face it and finish it. And what just occurred to me is face it, feel it, feed it, and finish it.
Okay, great. Kirkwel, your take on that?
Okay. Evangeline ma'am has definitely given a valid point. I would just like to add on to the point that she has given. A conclusion is where we clearly announce our stance to the audience. The first 1.5 minutes, whatever we speak, we have to keep them engrossed. We have to keep them connected with us. Now, the last 30 seconds, it's time for us to reiterate our stance clearly. Now, my strategy is to go with 3 short impacts. When I call 3 short impacts, I take references that can be from that particular location, that can be related to Toastmaster, that can be related to world outside, but 3 short references connected to the topic and my stance. For instance, in one of the contests, the topic given to me was related to endurance. I said, even in a race between cheetah and an antelope, if you make them run for say 10 kilometers, the antelope beats cheetah hands down. That's endurance. Even in our freedom struggle, Gandhiji's endurance to all the evils of the Britishers got us freedom. That's the power of endurance. And I connected it once again with Mother Teresa. Even when someone spat on her face, she endured and fought for the cause. That's the power of endurance. So when you connect some references to your stance and stress your stance at the end, make that your stance is clearly imprinted in the minds of the audience. That leaves an everlasting impression. So you start with a bang, end with a bang, and it will have an everlasting impression in the minds of the audience. Yeah, I remember this is the guy who talked about the cheetah, who talked about Mother Teresa, who gave the reference reference of Mahatma Gandhi. So something like that, if you are able to connect with the topic at the end, not too long, not too lengthy as stories, just 2 sentences, or in just 1 sentence, if we can reiterate our points through some examples, that would be a proper conclusion, giving a finish that we would like to have. That is my strategy, sir.
Awesome. So do we have any other questions from the floor? If we have, please raise your hand. We'll wait for 10 seconds. So if not, we'll try to conclude here. And we had a wonderful session. So in fact, table topic contest is totally unique, and you don't have any eligible criteria except to be a member of good standing. And I guess after the pandemic, most of these sessions happen physically, and many people are curious to come and meet people and then participate actively, and no one is bored. So as long as you have paid your dues, you can participate. And these stalwarts, they have given a lot of inputs, but it is almost like trying to understand the tips for swimming, right? So just by listening to them, it may not be helpful. You have to participate. So whether it is a club level table topic session or contest, you have to participate. Actually, this is actually a unique kind of a genre of a speaking. So as all the panelists have mentioned, no. So you start with some topic, you start with the thought process, and within 1 minute you have to change it, or you have to within 1 minute parallel processing will be going on, and while you are delivering the behind the mind, something will happen. So even I used to think, so why not we put some wires and take the MRI recording of the table topic speakers? What is going on? Is there a pattern that can be recorded or identified? So that is the kind of interesting topic. So and in fact, most of our club meetings become vibrant. It is all because of the table topic session, and to participate in table topic contest, that will be a fantastic opportunity for everyone, including the freshers. So with that thought process, I thank all the panel members, Toastmaster Evangeline, Toastmaster Kirkwel, distinguished Toastmaster Pat, distinguished Toastmaster Manigandan for sharing their valuable time as well as their valuable insights with us. And I'd like to hand over the podium back to the DLI Chair Abdul for giving me this wonderful opportunity, as well making this session available to all the members of District 120. Over to you, Abdul.
Thank you very much, sir. Before that, we have 2 questions in our chat that was posted recently. Shall we take those questions?
Right, give me a second.
Yeah. Shall I read out, sir?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So the first question, I think it's based on okay. Okay. Yeah. I think Mani has already answered that. Okay. So there is another question like, what needs to be done if the mind goes blank after hearing the table topic? A very classical question. So maybe panelists, you can share your ideas.
Yeah, psychologically speaking, table topics are impromptu or extempore. What they say, when the topic is completely new to you, certain portion of our brain cells get benumbed, numbness, Tamil maruthu pogal. Therefore, it leads to blankness, which in my own term, I call it thought attack. So to overcome that, if you have listened to the topic, then repeat the topic. Nothing wrong here. No, when you have a complete drainage, repeat the topic. If it is possible, define the topic. If it is possible, pose a question to the audience. So you could get some tips here and there. Then catch it up. Then if it is possible to connect with the previous incident or some linking or association, then you'll get some ideas. There's, the thoughts crowd here. Then pick out those thoughts and connect with the topic, opening body, conclusion. So that way you can.
I do have some thoughts on responding this question. So when we go for the job interview, right, many a times when we ask some generic questions, there are some people who will be able to immediately give clarity on that. Some people may refute or totally give a different kind of answer. But the interviewer will be most annoyed. So when the participant does not open his mouth and he could not respond to it. So that is where now we tell the young graduates, no, have some kind of perspective. What are be the topic, the current affairs? Have some kind of perspective. So it need not align with the entire mass or the intellect gathering. So you have some perspective. So I think once you become Toastmaster, for every topic, you need to have a kind of perspective. So I think if you have a perspective, then you will be able to handle the topic somehow. Ani, would you like to add something more?
No, I think the thing I always try is I call it practice. In my preparation and practice, I call this as attempt. How should I attempt a table topic? Whenever my mind goes blank, then I will go with my opinion about the topic or my opinion about the situation which it is occurring. Or also I take that strategy of for the topic or against the topic. I will just start with it. That's always been my strategy, and I agree with all other points you both shared.
We have one more question. How do I practice? This is from Mohammad Razin. How do I practice gathering info or a story for the topic given to me in a short time period? So I think we have already discussed in length. So you need to have a repository, so either mentally or you need to have a physical repository of all the stories and try to align with the metadata, and immediately you will be able to handle that. So probably with that, we'll conclude again. If you have any closing remarks, Abdul, you can say, and then wind up this session. Over to you, Abdul.
Yeah. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Mohan Krishnan. And also, I'd like to thank all the panelists for your time. Before we close that, from the audience, if you have any pressing questions, right, like this is the time, please unmute yourself and ask to our panelists. We will be happy to take your questions. Okay. Meanwhile, I have shared the feedback form for today's
very basic question. As just I'd like to add, I think this was offline shared by someone else. Suppose in evaluation, always the order matters. So the first person has got the disadvantage of having only 5 minutes, whereas the 10th evaluator contestant he has got enough time. So and still we are not come out with a rational method to give just equal justice to all, right? So we only go based on the draw of lots. But in table topic, that kind of undue advantage or disadvantage are not there. But the thing is, some people think that if I am the 10th speaker, the judges would have already heard nine similar perspectives. Mine may not be a new one. So have you ever felt the order, is it going to matter a lot?
In my initial days of the contest, I had this thought, sir. What if I'm the 10th person and people already spoke all that I'm going to say? That is where that your question of how I will stand out unique comes into play. My uniqueness in terms of the simplicity of my content, my delivery, what is that I want to bring in is one. Second, I believe my experience after this, we should not even have that thought. That's the realization. Whenever I had such thought, I lost the contest. Whether it is TT or evaluation, even ISC and humorous, whenever I had a doubt in my script or doubt in will I be able to make it, will I be different? Whenever I had this doubt, I lost. Whenever I just went with my own thinking and the confidence and belief that I'm going to give my best. I'm not worried about the first or second. I have been through that contest successfully. That's my personal experience in the last 3 to 4 years of contesting, sir. Sir, you're on mute.
Sorry, I was on mute. Would you like to add anything on that, Kirkwel, regarding the order?
Sir, you're on mute.
Unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Many a time it definitely crosses the mind of all the contestants. Now, Manikandan sir is right. Believe in your preparation, believe in your skills. Go there with faith in your ability to perform. That's ultimately there. Now, maybe a consolation to that would be, see, the first two speakers are like lab rats. The audience would not be, that's the kind of mindset. That's actually psychology. The first two speakers will have it definitely hard. If the speakers are truly tremendous, they can definitely pull through. It is always there. But the first two speakers are definitely testing subjects. The audience will be slowly getting into the contest feel after the first two speeches. The first speaker speaks, the audience gets into the mood, say 50%. The second speaker speaks, the audience will be completely into the mood. Now, all the other lot numbers, you can definitely feel relaxed because now the audience are all in the contest mode. So as the 10th speaker, you should feel extremely happy because as soon as your slot is over, you will have a very powerful impression left on their minds as the last speaker or the last few speakers. And the stage is already set by the previous contestants. So when you walk in, you don't have to bring the audience to the contest mode. They are already in that mode. That is a consolation that we can have if we are lot number 3 or more than that, sir.
Fully agree. So I have seen that. So not only the last contestant has got advantage, I have also seen that the person who has spoken the first or second, they also won. So some. So actually, that should not be a mental block.
Yes.
So the order
Yes.
should not be a mental block as long as you have a good content. Okay, then can we call it a day? I don't think we have any more questions.
Yes. Thank you very much again, and I want to give a big round of applause to the moderator and also to all the panelists for a very wonderful and insightful session on a Sunday evening. Thank you all. Those who have completed the feedback, feel free to leave. Others, you should complete that. Take few minutes and complete that. And yeah, I'll stop the recording.